scenarios. It's moving at 70, and then at the end, it's not moving at all. So why is the force different? Well, if we look at this side of the equation, in the scenario where the truck hits a brick wall, there is a very short time, which means the force has to be very large for the impulse to still be the same value. Okay, and we'll walk through an example of that. But kind of continuing on with that logic, if in the case where the driver slowly hits his brakes, this delta t is larger, which means the force can be way smaller. So I'll show you a brief example. Let's say the change in momentum in both scenarios is 5, okay? But let's say the time the truck hit the brick wall was 0.001 seconds, okay? That's how much time the truck was in contact with the wall. So we're going to figure out what force we need in order for this to still equal 5, okay? Now, if we look on this other side, let's say, it was 30 seconds, right? For the driver to slowly step on the brakes, all right? So if we're trying to get 5, okay, we're going to need 5,000. 1, 2, 3. So this would be 5,000 newtons of force that truck experienced to stop in that speed of time. And we can see that if we take our decimal point, kind of do that decimal point trick, 1, 2, 3, we move it over 3 times, it gives us 1 second. So we just come over here, move it over 3 times, 1, 2, 3, that gives us 5 for this side. So we would need a force of 5,000 newtons to still get 5 on this side of our equation. But over here, because we've got 30, that means our force actually needs to be smaller. So we would need, 1 second, we would need a force of, it would have to experience a force of 0.166, basically, let's say 67 to round up. So 0.167 newtons if it stops over a 30-second time period. So you can clearly see from this example, right, that the shorter impact time you have, the larger the force you're going to experience. But the longer the impact time you have, the smaller the force you're going to experience, okay? So that's why impact time makes a difference. And that's how these relate to each other. The change of momentum is the same in either of these cases, but the force they experience is different because the impact time, the time they're in contact with the wall or the time the truck is in contact with the brakes, is different, all right? And that's going to impact everything else. All right, that's going to impact the force, rather. Okay, so we kind of got an understanding of how those